Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and we are returning back to the world of Spawn. But this Spawn takes place in the future. This is Rat City, the story of the cybernetic Spawn. And this issue begins with the history of New York City / Rat City itself. This city is a city of violence because it was born from violence and war. And even when time passed, you would expect the city to change. It didn't. It fell into despair. Alcohol, drugs, homelessness, and crime was rampant. And everybody in this same city always had a story to tell. This city was a hellhole. It was where people's dreams came to die. And honestly, be born as well. Because when people suffer, then comes talent, then comes hope. Luckily, the people of Rat City had someone to hope to. They had a king of Rat City. They had Spawn, the real Spawn, Al Simmons. But the thing is, he was a stuff of legends. The only people that knew him truthfully were honestly bums and nobodies. All this was just to make the point that Rat City is the best city in the world, even if we know it isn't. Because at this moment, at this very point in time, while people were watching this news story play out, someone was dying. He could hear the ruckus coming in from his neighbor's apartments, and when he went to listen, bullets were flying. He tried to call the cops. Something is going down. But the tendrils came next. And at that moment, he realized, I really hate this goddamn city. Peter was on a rampage. Peter was murderous. With the literal tendril in the guts of a mon, he was rampaging around the room, looking for something to kill, even striking his own friend. Come to realize, he wasn't even really here. In his mind, he was fighting for his very soul. Facing off against a violator is no easy feat, but he was facing off against it until the violator started to speak, begging, Peter, please stop. Hearing these words shook him back to reality, and he saw the corpses around him, or rather, one corpse. He was upset. He wanted to heal this guy, but the cops were coming. They had to move. So, first thing he did was take care of the injury, infecting Quinlan with his nanotech for healing purposes. Then he grabbed him, and he said, hold on, jumping into the shadow, because that is one of his abilities. He could literally jump to the shadows. The cops arrived just in time to see an empty room. And Amon, still alive, on the floor. He got taken to the hospital, but where he awoken, he awoken in hell, on the lab, his own very lab, being experimented on by the good doctor. And in all honesty, he knew what came next. Another person was also in hell, witnessing the battle between Spawn, the real Spawn, and a violator. It was Quinlan himself. You see, the infection from the nanites were not good. It was healing him, yes, but it was fucking up his mind. The battle was amazing. Spawn was winning, but the blood was acidic. And as soon as he touched Quinlan, he was feeling the burn. In front of him, he saw his friends calling to him. But in the real world, he was dying. Literally, the nanites were supposed to heal him, but it was killing him instead. He was in hell, literally. Peter didn't know what to do. Rummaging through the room, he was looking for anything that would bring back his friend because his friend was dying. When he found a syringe, he fed it to him straight through his chest, and that was enough juice to bring him back. Breaking the connection of the nanotech, it returned to Peter, and his friend woke up. But he woke up with a scream because, like I said, he was in hell. But thankfully, he was back. Back at the headquarters of the bad guys, the doctor was pissed off. They couldn't find this freaking variant. Why? He has millions of dollars of tech on him. We cannot lose him. Track him however you feel. I don't care how you do it. Just find him. Quinlan was still recovering, but it was time for him to eat at least. He was wondering where the hell were they? And Peter revealed that this was Reese's place. This was where he kept his friends that couldn't afford apartments. Reese was a good guy, but he wasn't always. Matter of fact, him and Peter were actual assassins for the government. They did wet work, and they did it smiling. He knew this fact, but he kept it to himself. But sadly, nothing was ever secret in this world because Quinlan was alive, and because of this, they could track him down. As soon as Shorty saw him, she was salivating, going to report to her superior, and he was salivating as well. He ordered them be captured, but his boss said no. No more captures. I want both of them dead. Introducing the good doctor to Victoria, who was going to be his eyes and ears. He was tired of losing men. He wanted this anomaly put down. The doctor tried to play it like, yeah, I think you're making a mistake, boss. And the boss paused. Mistake? The doctor tried to explain himself. We could study him, find results from his very being. But the boss didn't give a fuck. He even showed him, just because I'm a hologram does not mean I cannot touch you. I can still touch you. Do not make me repeat myself. Put that animal down now. And so the order was given. Peter and Quinlan were supposed to die, but they had a plan of their own. They didn't like being tracked. So, realizing that Quinlan was a tech head, he was going to use, or rather, whip up a device that will block both their signals. Hopefully, he does it on time, because the enemy is coming, and they have a kill order.